Hello, hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to do a very interesting video, and I'm sure it's going to be very helpful for students, especially international students in the UK. It's about the graduate job schemes in the UK. So let's get started. So what are the different options that students have to gain some work experience in the UK? You can go in for internship opportunities, placements, graduate jobs, and of course the professional experience jobs. The best way to start for a UK student would be with graduate jobs or with internship opportunities. In this video, we're going to focus on graduate jobs. So what are graduate jobs? Graduate jobs are jobs that students can apply for when they are in the final year of graduation, be it postgraduate or undergraduate course, or after they have graduated in the past 1 or 2 years. The advantage of this job is that they pay you really well for a beginner, and also you get flexibility and real good exposure. They might post you in different areas within the UK. You could be coming from a different educational background and work in any industry. For example, you might have done a course in biotechnology and you can go into work with a finance related industry. Earlier, it was not that easy for international students to take up graduate job opportunities because of visa restrictions. But now with the post-study work visa, this has become much easier. So I would say that graduate job is the best way to start your career in the UK, because once you enter into the company, they can assess your skills and abilities and can even offer you long-term job opportunities. So when should we start applying for these jobs? Most of these jobs are open during June to September window or January to March window. And most of these will be on a rolling deadline. So once these positions are filled, they would be closed. The problem that international students are going to face is that most of the courses in the university start in September or January. So if you don't apply early, you might miss out on the opportunity. For example, in case you're unsuccessful, you have to wait for 6 months to 1 year to reapply. So if you don't start early in applying, you might miss out on the opportunity to reapply. Okay, now so we've talked about what graduate job schemes are and when to apply. Let's look at the different stages. So first you have the application stage. Secondly, you will have the test stage. Third, the interview. And fourth, the assessment center. Though different companies follow different processes, most of them will have these 4 stages. The first stage is the application stage. Where do we apply for these jobs is the first question. You can go into the website of the companies that you're interested in, go to their careers page, and there you can see early career opportunities or graduate opportunities. You can apply there, or you can go into websites like prospects.ac.uk or graduate jobs, or even just search in Google and you would find the openings available. A number of companies offer these kind of job opportunities. It could be retail, banking, science related, technology, business, and so on. You can find companies like Tesco, PwC, NHS, and all of them having these openings. In the application form, they're going to ask you to fill in certain details. It could be personal details, your academic related details, your past experience related details, and so on. So if you're a student and you've had no work experience, then you can add in certain voluntary opportunities that you've had. It might be a program representative at your university, maybe you worked with your placement cell, or maybe you were a volunteer for an NGO, or so on. So you could add that as your experience and the general details that you need to enter. In case you've done a part-time job, you can add in that also as your work experience. Some applications might also involve questions that test your motivation to join this company or take up that job. For example, they might ask you, what do you find the most interesting in this role, or why do you want to join this company, or they can even ask you for a cover letter. Once you've filled in all the details and you've submitted that apply button, some companies might give you a website link to proceed to the next stage, which is the test stage. But some companies might wait for some time while they process and assess your details and then provide you the link for the test. During this time, they might ask you to send the details of your academic qualification, maybe your A-level certificates or your undergraduate certificates and your visa related requirements and all of that. So the next stage is the test stage. During this stage, you will have a number of tests which can range from numerical, logical, situational judgment, and analytical tests. Most of the companies will have numerical tests in the same pattern. It could be basic mathematics, basic arithmetic, or then percentages, ratio, probability related. I mean, if you're just a basic, the basic mathematics, then you can easily clear this. But one thing that you have to look out for is the time and accuracy. They might tell you that you have to complete it in 20 minutes, but if you can do it in less than 20 minutes, always better. Sometimes they don't give you a time limit, but they might give a statement like this may be completed in 30 minutes or so. Then make sure that you complete before the stipulated time. And even if you don't complete all of the questions, what you have to look for is that whatever you do is accurate and right. These questions may also involve graphical questions. For example, they might give you some data in the form of a table or graph, and you would have to interpret the data and then do some basic calculations. This stage is not as difficult as you think, but you might need some preparations for it. Now, after the numerical test, you might have logical tests, which can be pattern-based, sequence-based, or even game-based. Now, game-based assessments are not very old in the industry and are used by a number of companies. You don't need to be good at gaming, or you don't need to be, playing a lot of games to clear the stage. You just need to know that they're testing your personality. For example, one of the companies have a game where they ask you to blow a balloon using one of the keys on your laptop or your mobile, and then the balloon will burst if it goes beyond its capacity. But then there are different balloons of different sizes and material, so you really don't know how much to blow before it bursts. This is a test to check your risk-taking behavior. So you just have to be very natural, just be yourself and do the tasks which are assigned. Another type of test that you might have to encounter is a situational judgment test, where you will be given a situation and asked certain questions. I could give you an example. They might ask you this question. Imagine you're working in this particular company on this project, and you're working as a team of 5 members, and one of the team members are not performing well or are creating problems for the team. So how do you deal with this person? That could be one of the situational judgment questions, and they will give you options. You might have to rank them from best to worst option, or you might have to choose the best and the worst option. So this is the basic framework of the test stage, and you need some preparation for this stage. Especially when it comes to the situational judgment test, you might think that it is better to think naturally and respond, but you have to realize that they're trying to find out a person who's the best suited for their company and this job role. So before attending to the situational judgment test, make sure you read through the job specification, the company's principles and values, and try to answer in line with these. The third stage is the interview stage. It could be a telephone interview, a video interview, or a face-to-face interview. With COVID, it's mostly telephone and video interview. And the video interview might not necessarily be a live interview. It could be a recorded interview. For example, they use certain platforms like HireVue, where they have certain questions already structured, and then they might give you 1 or 2 minutes to prepare and another 1 or 2 minutes to say the answer. The stage will be a little intense because you have a couple of minutes to prepare, and then you also have to speak. So make sure that you do it with very good clarity, a good tone, and that you look into the camera. You can refer to notes that you prepare, but then you should not keep looking into the notes and talk. You have to make sure that you keep eye contact, just like in a normal face-to-face interview. The next and the final stage is the assessment center. It used to be a 1 day or a half-day long process, and usually you would be asked to go to the company's office and attend this process. But now with COVID, most of these are virtual assessment centers. During the assessment center, you would be assessed on a number of factors, and this can include a number of individual as well as group tasks. I cannot emphasize enough on the importance of this stage, because till now you were all on your own and you were looking at the camera or you were performing the tasks alone. But here you'll also have to interact with other candidates. So they check on how you perform along with the other candidates. Now, you may not necessarily be analyzed in comparison to them, but then you have to make sure that you work very well in a team. Some companies are going to ask you to do a numerical assessment again because you have done it online and they don't really know if it was you yourself who did it. So they make sure that you are very good at the aptitude again. And some companies can also involve written assessments. Now, what you have to understand is that this is a graduate job. So they know that you have no work experience. So they're not expecting you to be a very good professionally expert person, but they're going to test on the basics of it. They can have an individual interview wherein they're going to check on your motivation and certain skills and abilities of yours. This is also going to be similar to the situational judgment test that you had and also the higher view interview that you had, but it's just going to be face-to-face and live. And in the group tasks, you might have to make a presentation and you have to interact with the group members. You might have to have a debate and make sure that you do it very constructively without hurting others. You have to ensure that you're accommodating others. This is going to be a 5 to 6 hour task, and that's the difficult part of it. But once you're done with this stage and you clear it, you get the job. So I hope now you've got an idea about the graduate schemes in the UK, how to apply to them and the different application stages. In case you need any clarification about any stage or about any job opportunity, or you want me to share my personal experience, please do comment below. Hope you like the video and thank you.